Be Now. My name is Sharon Smith. I'm here with my son, Noah, and Melissa Jolly Graves. And Noah wanted to say welcome. Say it. Welcome. A little louder. Welcome.
So for those of you
volume down
joining us,
Go
Noah is a minimal verbal autistic healer. He does not speak a whole lot with his words. So for him to be that excited to say welcome to you guys means that he meant it with all of his heart. And he's here with his mom, Sharon, and they do facilitated communication, which we explain on episode 1. So go back to episode 1 if you missed that. We're not going into that explanation, but know that she is here today with her phone, her son, her hands, and her intuition. So she will be writing with her phone today with Noah. She will be communicating with him through that way, and I will be speaking through the telepathy. And we got a lot of things to talk about. So one thing that you will learn about us is that we go by spirit. We don't go by human time. Spirit says go, we go. We don't question. We don't wait around. We don't schedule it. It just happens and it's go time, go. So I was sitting on the couch today and we had just done we had tried to do podcasts in the past, but we couldn't seem to get them on the dates. We were trying Wednesday, it always messed up. And then Noah said, do it whenever you want, when spirit calls. So we did our first official podcast yesterday, and now we're called again today to do our podcast. So you might receive 5 podcasts a week or 1 podcast a week. Whenever we got a message, we're here for you guys. When we got questions, we're here for you all. And we're going to bring it full course. So right now, Noah is writing to his mother and to all of you and giving us a message. He's writing with his phone and the facilitated writing, and his mom is going to relay that message. In the meanwhile, I'm going to talk to you folks and give you a little rundown about what we're going to be talking about today. 1, no more wasting time. It's time to get out there, give your messages. Don't come up for the perfect scenario. Don't try to think that you have to move this around. You have to have the perfect camera. You have to have the perfect microphone. You have to schedule a time or have something done at a specific moment. When spirit calls you to do something, just show up. Just be there. You might not know why you're going, when you're going to go, or who you're going to be with. And that's okay, because that's how spirit does it. So here comes a message from Sharon and Noah.
Welcome. It is difficult to get my real voice out. It was cool if you heard me laugh out loud.
He said welcome as he whispered welcome earlier. It is difficult to get my real voice out. That was cool if you heard me laugh out loud.
Or felt Noah. When Noah, the energy is going, and mine and Sharon's too, realistically. But Noah really loves for people to feel connected, to feel as though they're cared for, they're not alone. And so he takes an extra mile during this session to really be able to connect heart to heart with you. So when you're listening to this podcast, when you're watching the videos and you feel warm, hot, cold tingles, or you're feeling just a gentle hug that is just from one friend to another, that's Noah. Could also be our guides, the angels that are with us, but you will know the tone of him versus everyone else. My husband always says Noah is gentle, and Noah says Noah is gentle. So it's a gentler energy that, you know, isn't yours, but just, it's really good to have a friend around here. So he does a lot of work during our sessions here. And we have his sister Adriana in the background, and I'm going to let you talk about that, Sharon, and what goes on with her while she's going through this, because not only is he watching over us, trying to channel, speak through telepathy, help heal people, connect to people, he's also working to be a filter for his sister, as is his mom and his dad. So let us know that dynamics, because Adriana is also here in the present moment, just not able to be here in the room.
Okay, well, Adriana, I would love for her to come down here, but she gets very overwhelmed. Very different body type from Noah, where she does the hand flapping and a lot of the echolalia where she repeats. She still does a lot of nursery rhymes and songs, ABC song, what else? Days of the week, months, anything that's in order that you'll hear typical toddlers do. And that's one of the things that they've, Noah and Adriana have both said when they first started their communication was it feels like they're in a drunken toddler body. And it kind of makes sense sometimes. Noah's been able to control his body a lot more, and he'll sit on these Zoom calls for 2 hours or do an energy show all day. Well, we can't get Adriana to sit like that. But when she is quiet, you'll see her kind of bat her eyes, look off into space, and you know she's working on something. And she's starting to work a lot more. And when we do the energy shows, she is so excited when the other healers say that they feel her and they feel her energy. And she has such a happy energy, because sometimes she'll seem angry, but it's not that she's angry. She gets frustrated as she's trying to manipulate energy and control it and help even it out, is what I guess I would want to say. Yeah, okay, good. I had to ask Noah and he gave me a thumbs up.
So for the listeners out there, or people that have no idea about autism, echolalia is a new word for them. And I know it was for me in meeting you and Noah, Adriana. I've worked with people with autism before, just there was never a word for it. Can you explain that to the listeners?
Oh, the echolalia is just an echo back, which it makes sense. And we didn't know that right away either. Noah's echolalia, he would choose sentences or songs from VeggieTales, Blue's Clues, Big Comfy Couch, and he would use them appropriately. And so it was a little bit different than Adriana's, where it's just the nursery rhymes and things in rote, where it's just, ABC, 1, 2, 3. She was always the calendar girl, where Noah's was, he would just pick up these random TV shows. And he thought that was his voice. When we started typing, Adriana started typing first with facilitated communication, and she would tell him to type his thoughts, because she knew old MacDonald had a farm was not his thought, those kind of things.
So yes, right before this whole podcast was called to be, like I said, I was sitting on my couch and I just hear my guides just saying, "What are you going to do today?" And I'm thinking, I'm cleaning. I'm doing, the spiritual cleaning. And Noah comes and says, "All right, we got bigger work to do and we need to get on the podcast. So don't waste time," was something that had happened. So we're in this hurried state, trying to get ready. All of a sudden, a halt comes on both ends. You guys weren't there. I wasn't there. And I just had a huge hunger, started to eat and eat and eat. And all I could think was, Adriana. I come on here, Sharon's there, and Sharon says, "She's just having a hard time." And I'm going, "Oh my gosh, please give her food. She needs grounding. She needs to ground in her way." And it was interesting because I know so many different ways of grounding, but there are ways that when people hear the word grounding, that they think that they have to take some extra time, that like, I got to go meditate. I have to have time out. I have to do some spiritual thing, have a crystal. And this message goes great with Let's Be Now. because grounding is just being involved with something else, being in the present moment, enjoying it, having something that is fully connecting with you. It doesn't matter if it's good or if it's bad. If you are fully submerged in connecting with something, that is when you start to ground. So you can ground in so many different ways, because right now people are feeling the anxiety and the depression, laziness, uncertainty, confusion. And I'm hearing all over the place, how do I ground? How do I ground? And what's happening is you don't have enough of the good things in your life that you want, or you don't have access to the good things that you want. And just putting a food that you like in your mouth and really thoroughly enjoying it and just going, whoo, it's like a party in my mouth. And I have the salt and the chili and this, and acknowledging the taste, that's a form of grounding. Putting a candle on and smelling the candle and just, oh, that smell is so good. That's grounding. Touching somebody else or something else, your phone, connecting, that's grounding. So what is it that you're missing in your life that doesn't make you thrive? Find something you enjoy.
Come on in. Hi,
Oh,
we have a special appearance.
yes.
Here, you know what? I'm going to pick it up.
There
Just
you
as
go.
we were talking about Adriana.
Say
Adriana,
hello.
thank
Come
you
back,
for coming
say
in.
hello.
We appreciate you.
Okay, there you go.
All righty.
So we do work with Adriana too, and that, you know, as we're talking about her, of course, she's going to come in and she says yes, and tell them that they should give me more of what I like, because life is getting hard handling all this energy. So that was funny. But when I right before this podcast, I'm going, oh my gosh, we must have some big work to do. And that's what I kept hearing Adriana doing, that when you're needing to ground so quickly, it's because you're doing something energetically, whether you recognize it or you don't recognize it. You are doing something where your body is needing an outside substance. And I'm not going to choose that substance for you, because all things, I hate to say it and I don't want to say it, but all things have a benefit. But also, the best of the best things in the world, if you consume too much, will become lethal to you. So it has to be a now moment, checking into yourself. What do I need? Do I need to release energy? So maybe I should dance. Maybe I should sing. Maybe I should color. Maybe I should scream. Maybe I should cry. Or maybe it's, I need energy. So fill your body with whatever it is that you need. And no, I know you're trying to say something too. He's going with me and feeding into me as we're talking. So trying to get that telepathy, but he's just like, yep, you got it. But at the same time, I want you to work with your mom if you can, and add on to that, Noah, please. And I'll continue to talk for us, but if you can add a little bit more, because I know you have something else to say, and the people love to hear your messages and your voices too.
Actually, I know where he's going. He started out, he's typing, he's like, Mom wants, I know, it's like, Mom wants to say about Adriana and the grounding. We've been trying to find other things other than food, because she's really heavy and she wants to lose the weight, but she craves, and it's hard for her to stop. And that was one of the first things that she had told me when she started typing. Whereas Noah, his top weight was 320 pounds. And I don't think I've mentioned this on any of these yet. And he's at 200 now. And that was when he decided to drop the carbs. It was more than just the gluten. He decided to cut out the carbs. And that was him on his own doing that. And he feels a lot better. But Adriana, we still do a lot of the carbs. It's still gluten-free, but it's still the pasta, the rice, the corn, and all those things. So grounding, ideally, we would do like dirt, or we would do some of the stones or the essential oils. And actually, we've been trying all of those And so I guess each of those has its place, and it's just figuring out what's best for the body, I guess would be my question. And yeah.
But yeah, it's absolutely that. And it's going to be on a day-to-day basis because, you know, a misconception that is out there. And one thing about us is we're coming to tell the truth. If you want to know more about it, ask the questions. We'll have a whole podcast about it. But as a seer, I physically see energy. And there are people out there that are saying, I can cleanse your aura. You have holes in your aura. You have this color aura. You have that. Okay, I want to be very clear here. Auras are like bubbles. They are changing every moment that your body changes. Every breath you take, your aura changes. Every time you move your head, depending on the lighting, depending on who you're with, depending on the moon, what else is in the room, the universal alignment. I mean, your aura is a moment by moment, less than a second, energy that is changing because it is the shield or the I don't know, is trying to come up with something because I know you're going a little bit higher. Cool, Noah, thank you. He's typing with his mom right now as I'm giving this message. But what is happening is that as the world changes, and I mean as the world, as the universe, as the people, every single, and I can't stress this enough, change in the world changes your aura. And you can't control it because it's the thing that lets you know what's going on in your outside resources, and also the thing that allows your body to adapt to the outside. So it is always adapting and moving. In saying that, your aura changes every 5 minutes. So what you need now, maybe you need a grapefruit. 5 minutes from now, you might have had enough. You try to eat the grapefruit and you hate it. And it doesn't suit you anymore because the energy changed. Noah, Sharon, what do you have to say?
I have to tell you, that was a different feel on the typing. So I knew it was another energy. It was from a spirit guide. And so I'm asking in my head as we're doing this, because they were saying, dear Melissa, we want you to speak your truth. And they were very pleased. And it was your spirit guides coming through Noah. That was neat. I love that.
Yeah. Well, and that's where I was going with mine. I wasn't, he was just coming in and he was like, yep, keep it going, keep it going. So he wasn't adding too much other than egging me on. So thank you for that, Noah. And that affirmation, I appreciate it. Did you just give me thumbs up? You, awesome. 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 So this is going to lead us into our next topic that I know I was very passionate about today, and Noah was very passionate, and Sharon's going to have something to add on this, I know. And I wanted to talk on something, but then when the wasting time thing came and I'm like, okay, what do I need to say? What do I need to say? Because I had seen a post actually from my brother, a great post. I'm not gonna lie, beautiful. He was a non-believer in God, and now he has changed his ways and he has his own personal belief. And I love that. He's at least within that spirit. And he had posted a picture and it was a picture of a God over Ukraine. And it said, may God rest over Ukraine, or may God cover Ukraine. And immediately in my head, I was like, this is beautiful. But at the same time, the thought came to mind that we pray for the wrong people a lot of the time, and that everybody's sending the prayers to Ukraine. But where are the prayers going for Russia? Where are the prayers going for North Korea, or for the homeless, or for whatever? And that's not to say that that's in a selfish way, but what I know about energy and what Noah was adding, and he was showing me his input too, is that Okay, you want me to tell them that story? No. Okay, so Noah just told me to tell the story about last night and what we were watching, and actually an anime together, and it was, I believe, the twin exorcists. So it was actually a male and a female coming from different parts of the country who fought demons, and they started coming together to fight these demons, and both of them were these wonderful, wonderful demon hunters. And the girl came on and she was always fighting these demons and fighting these demons. And the boy was fighting these demons too. Just started watching it, honestly, like first episode yesterday. So sorry if you're a big fan and I'm not saying the names, check it out yourself. Just giving you guys the gist here. So anyways, in saying that, one moment happened that I needed in my life, because my husband's sitting next to me and I'm explaining to him everything. I'm like, whoa, there's like a lot to this that actually is right. And Noah comes in and he sits down at whatever, and like he's quiet, and this boy is not doing any hunting and he's out of his realm and he's not a healer. But then all of a sudden he sees this girl, and this girl looks back and she's like, I don't care what it takes. I'm taking them all down, like no matter what. And this boy is like, I don't know, doesn't know that he should believe her. And then she goes and she starts hunting all the demons. Well, she gets to like this grand boss, and she loses all of her energy from fighting them all. She can't fight. So the boy is sitting there and he's like, ah, man, I got to step up. So he steps up, and as he steps up, he does fight, but like he got this passion in his heart, and he takes his fist and his fist glow, and he goes, I cleanse and purify you. And at that moment, Noah looked straight at me and said, tell the people to stop fighting their demons and start purifying and cleansing them. And then today, when I am looking at Ukraine and go, at that post, I'm going, oh my gosh, we need to send prayers to the evil, because they are the ones that need purified. They need to be cleansed. Still, like, tap on your prayers to Ukraine. But I guarantee that all the people there are praying for themselves and putting faith beyond anything right now. And we do want to give it to them. But when we're looking at government, God's out of our governments, okay? Let's be real. There are very few politicians out there who go by God first, man second. We are in a man-driven, man-leading world right now. And this is where we're coming to say, we don't want to be leaders. We just want friends, and we want people to spread the message with us. But please don't put either of us above. We both get stressed out, and that's too much energy, to carry, and mom will definitely not be able to hold it, because she's emotionally way involved with the humans in a way Noah and I cannot comprehend. So please don't do that to us. Be with us. Don't ever put us above. And this is where we're going in this world, is people are putting people first. Put God first, put your faith first. And it says in 107 religions, pray for your enemies first. Because when you pray for your enemies, when you give love to your enemies, when you give heart and mercy and grace and healing to your enemies, you are knocking out the evil of the world. You are hitting it at its core. You are pushing the evil out, and you are putting the God in. God is already watching over Ukraine. Pray for your enemies. Pray for the evil. And pray that those are the things that are attacked. And know that there is an army of angels, of spiritual guides, of ancestors, of people like you guys and us, who are ready to fight the battles. And I don't care where you put us, we will have the freedom to fight, because this is a metaphysical war. And this isn't a war against man on man. It goes deeper than that. We are fighting the bad thoughts of the gods, the wrath, their pain, their anger, of all of the blame we have laid upon them. A person can only take so much, And we were made in the image of God. And we continued to, if we continue to put bad thoughts or think that people are bad. Thank you. This is Noah. Noah's stepping in, guys. So Melissa's going to step out here because I knew he had to say so much more. There's no such thing as bad people. There's only bad energy that people are willing to allow their bodies to be sacrificed for. And it's only because the evil on the outside, the bad energy on the outside was stronger than the light and the faith they had in themselves to be able to beat that. But no, we are of all, oh, that word again, Noah. You're going to have to write, because he doesn't call it God. Creators, not creators, cultivators, something. I don't know what.
Beings, just beings.
Just beings in general.
Beings,
so even
yes.
beyond that.
Yeah.
Okay. Just being, just beings, hilarious, are those that are being. I never correlated that, Noah. I really never correlated that. So thank you. Noah just gave me a 2 thumbs up, recognizing, yeah. So when we are in a state of being, we are beings, and that being, and also hence on let's be now, BEEING. I'm putting that pun on there out there for you guys. Sorry. Anyways, but when we are in the state of being, we're with everything and we feel everything. Don't think for a second that you can go and be happier, better than, more knowledgeable than anybody else in the world. Because if somebody seems happier, more at peace, not so much angry, if they're not pushing, it's because they made that choice. And you have that ability too, at any time. You don't have to choose the bad energy. You don't have to choose the evil. No, you're going to make me cry. You just have to choose the good in yourself. And you and only you have to believe in that. Because when you believe in that, the evil can't get in you. The bad energy can't get in you because you won't allow it. So choose to know that you're a miracle. You're a being. And this world hurts, and it's emotional, and there's pain. And we're all in that state. But some choose to make the best out of every circumstance. And that's your life. And he has more to say with his mom. I saw him typing with his hands. And
he typed vibration. Earlier, I asked him about, about raising the vibration. We had a couple of incidences where he'd been overwhelmed and people said he dropped to a low vibration. And I've seen some people on the autism spectrum considered a little more severe, where it seemed like they lived on that lower vibration. And to me, this all felt exactly the same on that, where it's raised that vibration. But he just typed vibration and said you would go from there.
Well, yeah. And here we go to Leah's question also. I mean, the vibrations, when we come into this world, our body is already set with the lowest of the low and the highest of the high. The lowest of the low is going to make you crack. On a physical level, science has proven that, a dead body even resonates at 20 megahertz, and we go all the way up to 120 megahertz within our body. And then exceeding outside of that, we go anywhere from 0 to 1,000 megahertz. And these are electrical pulses that people can check with scientific tools. I mean, even the thermodynamics that we can see when we pull out our thermal imager is showing us that we throughout our body have different temperatures. That in itself means that our body stores different energy pockets, different I hate to say blockages, but slowdowns, or maybe it is a blockage. I just hate saying that word because blockage means absolute stop. And usually I want to say it's dammed up. Maybe our chakras are dammed up rather than blocked. A heart chakra being blocked means your heart stops. So from that though, we are everything vibrations, but our thoughts carry certain vibrations. And Dr. Emoto showed us this with the water and freezing the water and saying certain words. We have also found this with rice, and even in lakes when several shamans or healers have gone by, just purification of the thoughts and the love has been able to transcendental meditation in itself. 1% of the population having a good thought or wanting betterment for the lands, change the lands, the crops, the diseases, the addictions, literally everything. Cut in here because I know he has something else to say. He was typing again. This time they were using the cardboard paper or the cardstock letters. So that's usually when he wants to go a little bit faster and excited.
So yeah, it was funny because he just typed, "It's a zoo in here vibrationally." And I sat here. This is the quietest room that I thought we had. And then I sat for a second. I heard water running. I hear Adriana, her iPad, and it's like, wow. So then it just really hit home on how much he really takes in, because I'm thinking nice and quiet, and it's like, no, it's not.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
and we're doing this over the internet.
Yeah.
So anybody that's streaming on the same line, on Zoom, even on the same internet platforms, the same frequency, satellites, like that all is coming in. People don't understand how much energy they have. I mean, just the direction of your home changes the energy in itself, and rooms. I mean, look at feng shui. Thank you, Michelle, my friend, for teaching me so much about that. But then we look at, yeah, I mean, the sounds that come around, the colors. I mean, it's really hilarious. I've taken so many students out just to the streets or to the parks, and we've sat there and I've said, look at the colors that people are wearing, because you can tell what energy is needed. And also if something comes in that is not fit, it will actually balance an energy. So I'll just show you an example or tell you an example. I was in Minneapolis at a yoga studio and looking outside, actually with Trisha and a few other people, but they're going outside and I'm going, oh, that area needs a lot of blue for sure. Like there's all these other colors, but it's been missing blue. And I'm looking at this area and I'm not even lying. 3 people got out of their cars, come, and they're all wearing blue shirts, a couple and one guy. So and actually they stopped and both of them looked over, looked back, and then they kept going their way. So I'm going, okay, there we go. Well, then a brown dog came out and I'm going, well, the brown didn't fit into the equation. So now we're going to need another brown, and a brown dog, not even a brown shirt, an actual brown dog came and went through. Well, then there was a car jam and there was a black car going and a white car going, and all on the other side, it was blue cars and red cars. And so these two didn't fit. And I go, oh my gosh, like how is the universe going to balance this one out, you know, to make this traffic jam go, because the colors aren't, like the energy is not fitting, the colors aren't fitting. Sure enough, this tiny, and I mean tiny little, like the Cooper cars, this little gray car comes through all of them, drives actually between the black car and the white car that was parked, but there was another car here, and then went around. And then all of a sudden the traffic jam opened up, and it's like, because they need that balance. So you can go outside and you can actually see, we'll wear shirts specifically knowing prior to going that we need to walk somewhere to just carry that energy. I mean, you know, sounds. I tell people, so when you're having anxiety or you're having depression or you're in a place that is too much energy, what I do is I cover my ears and I hum. Or sometimes I'm in a place where it looks crazy, so I can't cover my ears, so I just hum to myself. But when you hum from your inside out, it actually will send your energy out. So I'll sit and just say, I love everyone. I love you. And I'll get that energy out. And if I'm putting out, I'm not getting in. And it's regulated energy that I know, it's in a frequency that I know, it's serving for everyone. And so sometimes that humming just puts so much more energy into me that I can erase that and let that go. And Noah, you're doing energy work on someone. So Noah is also saying you can let this go throughout your hands. You can give it, share energy throughout your hands. You can do the protection. He's lifting up his hands and just letting us know there are so many different ways you can shield yourself by even just wiping maybe a foot from you and just saying, this is my energy. So yeah, it's a very intricate thing. I mean, take a tiny, like a tiny shiny thing, maybe the head of a lighter, or a coin, I don't know, whatever you got in your pocket on a night when the moon's out. Okay. And I want you to look and see if the moon shines and causes a reflection on that light, because I guarantee you it will, which means that we're affected by the moon's energy, which we already know, science already proved that. But the interesting thing is when you move that shiny object, the light moves with it. But what you're not seeing is that one light spectrum. And this is what I see when I carry something and there's one light spectrum hitting a certain or a certain spot. If I move that shiny thing, then every other light ray that is next to it now has to move. And I see it actually go all the way around the world and come back until that new light spectrum hits. But if what I'm seeing is true, and I don't know why it wouldn't be, I mean, it's what I see. And if you, sometimes other people can see the light rays from the moon. If you squint your eyes very much, you'll see how entwined we are with that. But my point here is a turn of a coin that changes the directional reflection from where the moon hits it, changes the entire universe. We are the universe. Every single thing, that every single like movement or taste or thing that another person feels affects us, which is why we'll not find full happiness until everybody in the world is happy. Because down to the core, if one person's sad, there's a sickness in all of us. So going on to Leah's question, do you want to read that, Sharon? You want me to? Because, well, actually, if you could, because my phone just shut down.
Okay, hold on. I gotta get on there and find it. Go ahead and chat until I get back.
All right. So Noah is saying, yes, I feel everything around me. Every single, and guys, there's some words that we just can't say because they would almost hurt the human language to say, here we go again with a vibrational unit, or they just would not comprehend it. But the best I can show you is he's pointing further than molecules and atoms and quarks and photons. And he is pushing past that in my vision when he's showing me this. And he is saying it is such on a delicate level. And what he means by that is that just anything can tip the scales, can tip consciousness if it causes enough force And so therefore, everything counts and everything has a ripple. Some things have more force than others, but every single thing that happens in this universe is accounted for and affects and is affected by every other quantum. I mean, it goes beyond that though. Goes beyond the atoms, goes beyond the things, but it goes so, and there's not, I can't say the name, guys, because we just don't have it right now. We can make it up, Noah. The molecule. But
Looks like you like that.
yeah, he smiled on that one. Yep.
Yeah,
But it's the smallest thing in the world creates the biggest impact in the universe. Even the bacteria on one tiny grain of sand controls and decides what happens to the entire planetary system.
He said very cool word, and then he started typing nano, and it's like, then he's like nanovite, and it's like, no, he's making up another word, but nano something.
Well, we need to make it up. That's the thing, is like, it's not even, it's even smaller than that. I mean,
yeah,
there's no way humanity would ever be able to even pinpoint it, because it's a thing of the gods or of the universe. It's we wouldn't have that. And if we did, we'd be lethal, especially at this point right now. Nuclear bombs, man, worse than what we have.
Well, I have Leah's question.
Okay.
For the past year, when I experience feelings of heightened joy, I have a crazy sensation at the back of my skull, like the fascia being pulled from around the back of my ears, at the top of my nape, very electric, sometimes uncomfortable even. Thoughts? Actually, I guess do that one and then I'll get to the second part.
Okay. So quite honestly, I mean, I really like other people's take too. You know, of course, you want to make sure that it's not something medical. To me, my experience, and I can only say off of that because we can't give health whatever, so I can tell you from my experience and other people's. A tingling in the back of the neck when you experience joy or enlightenment means that you are in connection and you are in tune with your guides, that they are to a point that they can actually communicate with you. A lot of times they'll communicate through the throat area and the ears. You'll get a high ringing in the ears. It might sound like you're underwater. You might have whispers or white noise. Music, there's lots of different things that you could hear in your ears, but also the throat might feel a little bit closed. It might feel ticklish. You might need a cough or open up your throat, or just a noise might need to come out. And that is because the guides are actually trying to unclog your throat because you have something important to say. And they know that that moment that you are feeling that is the moment that they want you to help the rest of the world feel that. So in my experience, when I've seen guides do that to people and then people ask me, what is that? I've seen the guide putting the plant of, or a seed in them, I guess, or trying to plant, whatever you want to think about it. What I've seen is that they have seen the person at their best and they know that they are pure enough to carry messages. And so they start a new vibration. They like change your radio frequencies kind of, so that you can start hearing the world in a different way. When it is hurting or it's uncomfortable, it's growth. It's your spiritual growth. You might also get strep throat, swollen tonsils, that kind of thing. You can be treated by the doctor if need be for those things. But sometimes you'll get a lot of mucus in the throat too, sometimes after that, just because they're trying to clear it so that their messages can be more pure and you can get that out.
Then Noah said could be energy escaping, which sounds a lot like what you're talking about anyway.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. The unplugging and yep.
Okay. Then she says, also my ears have been sounding like a frequency tuner Shifting in and out all day for a few months or so seems to be intensifying. I figure it's not just me. Ideas?
Okay. And both of us can definitely explain this. So this is kind of be as I talk, this will be Noah and I conjoined. So I'm not gonna come in and out and tell you what he's saying or what I'm saying, but just know that this is a conjoined answer, and we've actually spoken about this before. What you're actually experiencing is, if you're not listening in the right frequency, if you have ever, it reminds me of a CB radio. So when I'm tapping into my guides, it's almost like that CB radio, where it's, or when we were tapping into the internet, back when I was young. I don't know how many of you know about that sound, that whatever sound. But essentially what's happening is they're trying to find a channel that either you can listen on or that you could communicate on. And they change that frequency because you're in it enough to hear it, that the radio's there, but you're not checking in to see what they're trying to say. So when you're hearing that, take note as to what's going on or what is happening around you, and start to tap into what are the lessons I have right now. And at first you might need to use your intuition. After a while, when they know that your intuition is on, you've heard, they might change the hearing to where you hear the voices, or you get better direction even through music or something. And then it goes on to your vision, to where you can actually see them. So yeah, that to me and to Noah, Noah was adding, he says, this is what I hear all the time. That's my life. I'm just, and people call it tinnitus. And it's too bad that too many people think that it's a problem with their ears, because lots of people have messages, and sometimes they aren't meant to give the messages for all their life, but they're just meant because they're in that right moment, right time, and they can hear it now, and they miss the message. So if you're hearing that ringing in your ears, please do stop and acknowledge what's going on. So, and just say whatever you're feeling, tell the world what you're feeling, because there are messages from the guides, the extraterrestrials, angels will do that. Sometimes even Noah is ringing in my ears, when he comes in. So pay attention to that, because with the two of them combined, that's saying, listen and speak. And that's what I'm getting. We have something to tell you. Please tell them what I have to say. And Noah, you agree?
Yes.
2 thumbs up.
Yes. So confirmed with a yes.
Yep.
Well, I also wanted to say that makes sense about the ringing in the ears, because I've heard other people say that that's how they've heard Noah come in. A couple of times they've said that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about humanity is that we don't take into consideration science when looking into spirituality. And we also don't take into consideration our personal religious experience that we can have. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go to church. I'm just saying, what is your coming to God moment? And that doesn't have to be a life, like your life is going to end. Just what was your moment that you felt most connected is what I have, a coming to God moment. I guess what I think is differently, just that moment. Maybe you were doing art. Maybe you were just hanging out with a friend, whatever, and you just felt God, whatever that is. Because this is so important. When people differentiate, try to frequencies, we are on Earth experiencing the same frequencies. We speak on AM, FM, radio frequencies, microwave, X-ray, plasma, red light, or infrared. Sorry, not red light. Sorry, guides. These are all channels that we channel on. When Noah and I are speaking, we're usually on a plasmic level. You could come up to us and probably get some static electricity, or your hair might glow, or I mean, not glow, puff up or whatever, You might glow. I don't know. That'd be really cool, Noah. Let's try that trick one day, huh? Have someone touch us and their just hair starts to glow. Goals, Noah. Yeah, but when they're trying to talk to us and we're hearing it, why it sounds like radio AM FM is because we can actually hear them. And now we've even gone further with our technology. And I don't want to say further because this was the ancient stuff that they did too. I guess we've advanced in our ways since we did not have connections on how to make that. But we have people that have spirit boxes that can talk to ghosts. I can't even tell you, I mean, when we're doing ghost hunting and paranormal hunting, that's something that I bring. I bring the oldest cassette player that I can record from because it actually picks up radio frequencies. So when I play back the record, I can hear if the ghost said anything. You know, why they work in our cameras or video is because we're actually getting them on those X-ray frequencies. So don't differentiate your own self. And when you're thinking like, what are these sounds? Try to think about the science. What could that be? Because you're probably going to attribute it to tuning into an AM FM radio. And that's because that's the frequency that you're on right now that they're able to talk to you on. And that frequency for me has been the ghosts and the guides. As we get further up into our frequencies, you'll start to hear different sounds, or sometimes the sound is so high pitched or low pitched that you almost feel it rather than hear it. And so that way, you know what channel you're on. And that's a very good habit to get into, just because then you know who your guides are, where they are, where to find them. Because if I just go in and I tune into 98.1, I know what music I'm going to get. If I tune into 104.1, I know what music I'm going to get. And also that helps me decide in the spirit world what guide I'm talking to that day. And that might depend on my mood or who I need to hear from. Yeah. But what else do we have to talk about, you two? Anything?
I think we need to tie it up today. We're going to have to head to the gym. What do you think, Noah?
Thinking the same.
Yeah. Laugh out loud, he's typing. But do this again soon.
Yes, we will. We will. So thank you, Leah, and anyone else out there who is giving us some feedback. We love the feedback. I would really enjoy getting questions from people who don't understand this or aren't open to this. I want to help you, because it doesn't just stop with us. This is a universal language. This is a universal skill that everyone can harness. And maybe if you don't understand it, it's because you didn't ask the right questions, or maybe it wasn't explained the right way. And I'm not looking for everyone to believe us. We're probably going to have people who believe us less than people that do, but we're not here for them. We're here for the people that need to receive the messages. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your time. If you want to be on the show, if you have further questions, let us know. Don't forget to subscribe. We are getting our website up. We do have our domain and the website going. We just have a few things to work out. So if you go on our website, just know that we are working those out. That should be done by the end of today. But www.letsbeenow.com. And don't forget, you're a bee too. Be in the now. Go spread the buzz. Tell us your messages, and let's pollinate the world with kindness, love, mercy, grace, healing, and empathy.
Bye.
Hey everyone. Noah's waving. Sharon's waving. We're all waving at you. Bye, loves, and have a wonderful day.